Hey there, Agile Adventurer. Just a quick question. What if, for the price of a fancy coffee or half a pizza, you could unlock over 700 hours of the best Agile content on the planet? That's audio, video, e-courses, books, presentations, all that you can think of. But you can also join live calls with world-class practitioners and hang out in a flame war-free and AI slop-clean Slack with the sharpest minds in the game. Oh, and yes, you get direct access to me, Vasco, your Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. No, this is not a drill. It's the Scrum Master Toolbox membership. And it's your unfair advantage in the Agile world. So if you want to know more, go check out scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. That's scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. And check out all the goodies we have for you. Do it now. But if you're not doing it now, let's listen to the podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to one more week of the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. And this week, joining us from the US is Aliu Adewale. Hey, Aliu, welcome to the show.
Hi, Vasco. I'm glad to be here. It's an honor to be on your shows because I'm a fan of yours for like 5-6 years now. And you really added value to, what I've become today. Listen to people coming on your shows and stuff like that, sharing tips, tricks, techniques, really helped me toward my journey and become who I was. Because Scrum Masters, I was like really good at it because of people that share ideas on your shows and stuff. Even right now, I play more of a leadership role in my organization, but yet I'm still not going to take away the value I got from your show.
Absolutely. Well, it's a pleasure that to hear that this has landed and had value. And now it's your turn to give back. So everybody, let me tell you a little bit about Aliu. He's an Agile delivery lead with over 10 years experience empowering teams to unlock their potential and deliver value. As an author, Aliu simplifies Agile practices through real-life experiences, providing practical insights for professionals to apply Agile methodologies effectively in work and everyday life. Aliu, that was a short intro. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and how did you end up becoming a Scrum Master?
Thank you, Vasco. It's so funny how I become a Scrum Master. It's actually happened at the Best Buy. Two of my friends went for a TV shopping at Best Buy. He just moved. And when we got there, he was checking different TVs and we were checking the menu. So one of the other guys just said, you know what? Working software is primary measure of progress. And I was like, what are you talking about? TV is not software. Then he said, okay, working software over comprehensive document. I was like, now I'm convinced. What's going on with you guys? So we started driving back home. So I Googled it. I was like, what's going on? Then I realized like, oh, it's an Agile principles and values. I was like, guys, can you tell me what you guys on? Because we were all project managers. We're just traditional waterfall kind. That's how we met and connect. Then later I dive in. Then I know what that actually mean, like it's from Agile, which is 4 values and 12 principles. So in my day-to-day life as a traditional project manager, I started applying that mindset. Like if I'm working with a team, I want to ask them, when do you want to deliver this? I don't want to see any document, as a project manager. I don't want to see any document. I want what is working. Give me a date. Give me a deadline. So, and it started working. It started changing mindset toward what is actually working, comparing to showing slides, bunch of spreadsheets and all that. It started showing and I see the changes in the team I was working with, even as a traditional project manager. Then I was like, okay, maybe I need to dive into this thing since this little piece of information that I have right now is working. Then I reach out to these guys and say, okay, I want to become what you guys trying to become, because one of them wanted to become, I think, Scrum Master, the other one a product owner. Then they introduced me to someone which I know he used to be a public figure and he was their coach then, an Agile coach. And he said, okay, welcome on board. Then he started giving me some knowledge and training and said, if you want to become a Scrum Master, which I believe you love so much, you have to follow these 12 principles of Agile and see it as 10 commandments. You know, when you say 10 commandments, like thou shalt not steal, thou shalt respect your mother and father, thou shalt not do adultery. So, by the way, Vasco, I'm a religious person myself. No disrespect to any religion, but that, for the context of this conversation, that if I can look that Agile principles through the same lens I look 10 commandments, I will be successful being a product owner, being an Agile coach, being a Scrum Master. And then I dive in, utilize that idea, that knowledge is shared with me, and I've become a Scrum Master fully. And I've worked with so many teams, which I enjoy working with them. I love it back then, and I'm still loving it now. As a matter of fact, I apply most of this into my day-to-day life, even right now that I'm playing more leadership role as well.
Absolutely. I really like that analogy of the guiding effect of those 4 values, 12 principles, because one of the things that I realized that our understanding of what the values and principles are grows with our experience. And
Absolutely.
That doesn't mean that our initial understanding was wrong. It just means that as we evolve, we understand those things differently in the context that we are. So that's really interesting. And it also speaks to the necessary and natural evolution of our own understanding of how things work in practice. Okay,
True.
let's take that forward, Aliu, because of course today's Fail Monday here on the podcast. So we talk about a difficult moment you had as a Scrum Master. So we'll dive into the takeaways later, but share that story, that difficult moment you had at the Scrum Master story with us.
My difficult time as a Scrum Master, I think, happened when I just begin and I want to do everything. Always want to approach the team, always want to help them, always want to be in their day-to-day business. Like, I want to show like I'm working, I'm all over the places. And then I realized like, okay, maybe this is not working. And it wasn't working then because teams believe like you are into their affairs. And before I realize it, I see it as a failure for me because I want to be in everything. I don't want to let everything to go without me noticing, right? So it's failure for me. And then I get to realize the definition of fail, first attempt in learning or frequent attempt in learning. That's my own definition of fail. And what I did then was to lay back. I withdraw myself, and then realize like, okay, sometimes the best architecture and design comes from a self-organizing team, you know. Then after I did that thing, teams started collaborating. They started owning their own day-to-day activities. You know, I'm not a coding person. My knowledge is to help the team to unlock their full potential. So that was when I realized that was what I needed to do for them. Like, I don't need to be in their business. So my failure comes from being in their business, being in day-to-day, want to know what is going on and all that. But when I lay back, everything started working better.
Well, when you think being in their business, which can have many meanings, what do you think led you to be there and to want to be there and to know everything about what was going on? Like, what was driving you to have that and model that behavior?
I think what was driving me then was I was new. I want to show my manager that I was working, and I want to start showing some kind of transparency, visibility that, oh, Aliu set up 2 meetings with this team. Aliu want to do like check-in meetings like 3 times a week. I want my manager to have visibility that I was working. And in the Scrum Master role, you don't need to do all that when you trust the team. You know, when you trust it, because trust is the foundation of empowerment. When you trust your team, you empower them and they will deliver beyond your expectation.
Yeah, absolutely. And trust, though, requires us to trust ourselves. So I'm reminded that often the reason why we want to be, as you said, in their business is because we're not sure that we can trust them, right? And
Yes, yeah.
the reason why we're not sure we can trust them is also because we don't trust ourselves to know what's going on to the extent that we need to know. Right? Like it's almost as
Absolutely.
if I need to know everything, otherwise I know nothing. Right?
And mind you, Vasco, this team are new teams too. So we all new. And I was put in a role where I spearheaded their deliverables. So I don't want to under deliver. I was new to the organization, and this team are new to, and I was there as a Scrum Master to coach them, to make them deliver value. So if deliverables is not really meeting the stakeholders' expectation, I was thinking in my head, like, it's going to be on me. And in a Scrum team is a collective win, and it's also a collective field.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, right? Like at the end of the day, we need to understand that when we want to be in their business, as you said, so knowing everything, always being up to date with everything, it's because we feel the responsibility. And the kind of the final question I want to ask you is, how did you deal with that? Because one thing is to say, I step back, I let them own it, and that worked better. But that's kind of I would say, like, distant vision of what happened. But when you were there, you also had to deal with that sense of wanting to be and feeling responsible for their delivery, right? So how did you handle that? What, like, did the coach help you? Did you talk with your colleagues? Did you have a discussion with the team? How did you get to that point where you said, I don't need to own this, they can own it?
You're right, Vasco. I actually reached out to my coach then, and he let me understand. He said something like stepping back gives your team the space to take ownership and unlock their true potential. So that statement gave me an opportunity to think, like, okay, what's come to worst is team not delivering anything, and we can adjust and move on through retrospective. Let me step back. It was hard, the most hardest things to do as a Scrum Master, to step back and let things just roll on its own with the team. So I seek support from my coach. It gave me that statement, that idea, like, just give them space. When you give them space, definitely let's see how that happen a sprint or two, then you can adjust accordingly. It's continuous learning for everybody. And that was what I did. I stepped back and get to realize, like, okay, this team actually can reach their full potential without me interfering in their day-to-day check-in and all that. And it works. And if you look at the Agile principle number 5, it said, build projects around motivated individual. Give them the support they need and trust them to get the job done. So that was what I did.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does take courage. So we need to acknowledge that, right? Like, because
yes,
of course we're afraid they will fail and that will reflect on us, but it does take courage to step back. But without that courage, they can't succeed. I'm reminded of the episode we recorded with David Marquet, where he talks about the book he wrote, Turn the Ship Around, where he exactly did that. He went through that transformation of understanding why and how to step back. So great story. Thank you for sharing that, Aliu.
Thank you so much, Vasco.
All right. I hope you liked this episode. But before you hit next episode, here's the deal. This podcast is powered by people like you, the members who wanted more than just inspiration. They wanted real tools and real connection to people who are practicing Agile every day. We're talking access to over 700 hours of Agile Gold, CTO level strategy talks, summit keynotes, live workshops, e-courses, deep dive interviews, books, and if you're into no estimates, we got the pioneers of no estimates in those deep dive interviews as well. Agile business intelligence, creating product visions, coaching your product owner courses, you name it. You'll get invites to monthly live Q&As with Agile pioneers and practitioners, plus a private Slack community, which is free of all of that AI slop you see everywhere, and of course, without the flame wars. It's a community of practitioners that want to learn and thrive together. It's the best place to connect with community and learn together. So if this podcast has helped you before, imagine what you will get from this podcast membership. So head on over to scrummastertoolbox.org/membership and join the community that's shaping the future of Agile. And we have so much for you. So check out all the details at scrummastertoolbox.org/membership, because listening is great, it's important, but doing it together, that's next level. I'll see you in the community Slack. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.